forget how I did it, so I thought, well, I started my channel with just one microphone, so I'll start my comeback with just one microphone. So much has happened since I've been gone, and I don't even know where to begin, but I'll find a place. You can hear my dogs in the background, of course, but I love them too much to kick them off the video. Is that Max right back there? I can't tell. So many times people have commented, like, if I don't, like, point out my dogs on the bed. That's why I started this video with me walking up to them, so that you could actually see me petting them. But I've got comments like, what is that noise in the background? It sounds like snoring. And I'm like, yeah, you'd think that would be 100-pound lab snoring. But they're amazing creatures. I've had a long break from making videos, but I think where I was going to go with this was that most of you remember how I started my channel, and that my intention was to do 90 days every single day and just see what could happen. And I did that. I made 90 videos in 90 days and posted 90 videos in 90 days. And I never hit 1,000 subscribers. Then I have 1,000 now. I'm almost at 2,000. But, I had no idea how YouTube worked or if you got paid. I mean, I knew you could get paid, but I didn't know what the scale was. I knew you had to hit 1,000 subscribers, but I didn't know how much you could make. But if anybody's curious about making videos, YouTube will not pay your money until you've made at least $100. So once you make at least $100, they'll deposit money into your account electronically. And so 2 times, I think this channel is probably 2 years old, and 2 different times I got a $100 check in my account from YouTube. So I have made $200 in 2 years. And I don't know how many videos I have. Maybe definitely well over 100. I mean, probably not quite. Maybe 150. I don't know. But if anybody's trying to think about starting a channel to make money, I would tell you that it's challenging for sure. Now, I'm a bit older and I'm a man, but I think women, especially young women, have a better chance at an ASMR video, because I think mostly guys use YouTube, and mostly guys, obviously you listen to the women. More guys listen to women for ASMR than women listen to men for ASMR. But I have male subscribers too, obviously, so sometimes it depends on the voice, not the sex of the person. But I'm just talking about like the majority, not like everything is rigid and the same. But as an example, like just this microphone alone, I can't remember the cost, but I think just this one microphone was $200, and then I have a second one so that I can do ear to ear, and then the camera that I have, and the tripod that I have, and the computer that I have, and obviously the expenses add up. Software to be able to, like, if you're doing ear to ear, you have to like do channel A and channel B. You have to have programs to make sure you can do it. So it's not a profitable thing, but for me, again, the whole idea wasn't that I would make a lot of money. It was to give back to the community. That was a big part of why I did it. I mean, obviously, when people do things, a lot of factors go into decisions, not just one necessarily. So, that's the status update of my channel. And as far as my life, I think I think part of this is like, after being gone for so long, I feel like I repeat some information, but not everybody's seen all of my videos. But I retired from a career after 20 years, and then I didn't work for 7 months. I was gonna be retired, but I didn't like it. I worked my whole life with the goal of retiring early, and I thought like I could just like hang out and read and work out and walk my dogs and do house chores and cook and watch YouTube. You think about these things and you think that it's what you want, but then when you get what you think you want and you realize it's not really, it didn't make me happy. I think what I was missing was like purpose, and I had no real fulfillment, and I didn't really have a lot of interaction with society. I mean, I have friends but and I have a family, but the day-to-day interaction is, I realized it's how I'm wired up, that I felt better if I'm more engaged. Now, I didn't want a career that was like my old career. It really like took a lot of my life, the majority of my life, truly. I didn't want to work 80 hours a week again. But then, so I worked 80 hours a week and I didn't like that. And then I worked 0 hours a week and I didn't like that. So I thought, let me find something kind of in the middle. And that's what I did with the real estate. I started selling real estate, and it's been a really good transition for me. My old career, I had employees, and in this career, I'm just myself. I don't have an employee. I represent my clients, but so I interact with people that are either buying or selling houses, but I don't have to have employees, and that's what's best. And the other part is the majority of my life, the majority of my work is done right here. I'm in my home office chair, and I'm here with my dogs, and most of it, again, I'm doing right here. So 90% of my hours that I work are at home. So that is a great part too, where before I used to have to go to an office and be inside those walls all day and, open the door at 8 a.m. and leave at 9 o'clock at night and just things like that. It was just horrible. I know it was good to me financially, but it took a lot of me. And it's really why I've never been married and why I never had any kids, because I'm sorry about Max, he's loud. They're all cleaning. I hope it doesn't mess your experience up, but at any rate, I just, needless to say, I just like this career a lot better, but I have been busy, and my hours are kind of strange in that I don't like clock in. I don't like say, okay, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm at work. It's just whenever my phone rings or emails come through, a client might call me and say, hey, I see this house that came through on my search. Can we go look at it today at 2 o'clock? And so if it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, then I schedule that within our showing system. And 2 o'clock comes and we go look at it, and then if they like it and they want to make an offer, I come home and I prepare the offer. So that's kind of how it's strange, because I just never really know. So it's a little bit different, because like on my last job when I left, it was like I was off work, but with this job my phone could ring and I go right sit at my computer and answer questions about a home, or, you know, it's, you're never really off work, but if you like it, then it doesn't really, and I do, I like it, so it doesn't really feel like, you know, a chore. It's not challenging, but, yeah, so that's a lot of what's taken a lot of my time as I've been off of here, and of course doing things around my house. I painted the outside of my house this year, and all of my fencing, everything is painted, fresh paint. I had new gutters put on, but I didn't have to do that. So, you know, just doing some things to my house. And then part of like another reason why I kind of stopped making videos is because I just felt like when I would sit down to make one, I was starting to like struggle with like what to say, because I'm like, I felt like I had told you guys everything I could possibly tell you, you know, over 150 videos, and I'm like, I don't know how many hours, but I mean, each video wasn't an hour long, but it's a lot of time to just talk, because I'm like, I'm not just like a noisemaker, and I don't do like, you know, I don't do the flutter things, I don't do hand stuff. I mean, I know people have requested that stuff, but I'm just not comfortable doing it. I don't, you know, I don't get triggered by that stuff, so I really don't know what people like, and then I like tried to, because I wanted to be kind to people, and I wanted to be, you know, a servant for you guys to give you what you want, but I just, if I don't feel like I'm good at something, I just don't really want to do it. You know, I just know that if, you know, let somebody else have those type of specialties, you know. I just like to talk to people, and I know, and whispers trigger me, especially close whispers. They trigger me, and so I just feel like if my whispers can trigger somebody, then that's what would make me happy, and so that's why I do it. Now, it would be amazing if my channel would blow up, and then I could just do this for a living, and then I could like make, you know, 2-hour long videos, and I could like, I would probably at that point make an area where I could isolate myself from my dogs, because part of the reason why when I make videos I don't want to separate from my dogs is because if I've had to leave them sometime today to go show homes, like today, I was gone for probably 4 or 5 hours because I bought my clients that I sold houses to this year, I bought gift baskets for Christmas, and I live in Indiana, and all of the stuff in the gift basket was made in Indiana. So like there was an Indiana chocolate factory, and several Indiana candy factories, and an Indiana cheese company, Indiana crackers company. It was all like a really cool basket, and then the basket itself was really good quality and really nice. Sausage, there was Indiana sausages in there. But, you know, I try to support local business when I can, because I think our communities, you know, it's like, I think the best way to help the world is like start as close as you can get to yourself. Like, so first, to fix the world, you fix yourself. And then once you've fixed yourself, then you try to fix your family. And then once you fix your family, then you try to fix your neighborhood. And then once you fix your neighborhood, then you try to fix your city. And once you fix your city, you try to fix your state. And then eventually, if you could fix all of that, which obviously nobody ever has, there's no perfect city or state out there yet. businesses, then that means you have good jobs. And if you have good jobs, you probably have better people, because crime, I think, happens. I think poverty is the number one motivator to crime. And I'm talking about like stealing and home invasions and things like that, robberies. Obviously, people want something they don't have. Now, sex crimes, maybe not so much. Those may not necessarily be related to poverty. I'm sure there's rich people that commit horrible sex crimes. You know, that it's not about money. But yeah, so I think jobs are important. It's one of the reasons why I struggle with the immigration thing. It's like I hate that other people in other countries are suffering, and I want them to have a path to freedom. And I know we have ways to do that, but to just open the borders and let everybody in, it dilutes the workforce here. And you know, it's a very I know why it's a controversial subject, because it's complex. You know, how in one breath you're wanting to help one person, you have to hurt another. It's kind of one of those things. It's like, to help our own citizens, you have to hurt the immigrants coming that want to be here. You know, we can't. It's like everybody in the world can't have a Ferrari. One, they can't make enough of them, and two, if everybody had a Ferrari, who would clean the toilets? You know, who would make the tacos? You know, it's almost like the world has to have a class system in order to get everything done that it needs done. You know, I mean, like right now, this very second, there is a doctor with his hands inside someone's chest, removing their heart so he can put a new one in it. Or lungs, or kidneys. There's a mail person putting mail in a mailbox. There's a fast food worker flipping a hamburger or making a taco. There's a janitor washing a toilet or cleaning up someone's vomit. And, you know, there's someone selling a house, and there's a lawyer pleading a case. Someone's cleaning up trash in the park. Someone's paving a road. You know, someone is sitting down writing a book. There's so many things out there that you can do, but again, I feel like if everyone was financially sound, I mean, it would be challenging to find those difficult jobs to be done, like roofing a house. When I was a teenager, 19 years old, I roofed a house. I worked for a roofer one summer. It's the hardest job I've ever done in my life, physically. Bundles of shingles are heavy, and it's hot up there on those roofs, and it's dangerous. And I tell you, I have so much respect for roofers and you know, people that build skyscrapers, people that work on heavy. You know, if you were changing tires on a dump truck, I mean, those wheels that come off of a dump truck are so heavy, and the tires. I mean, it is hard work. People that crawl into crawl spaces. You know, people like plumbers that have to go under your house to fix pipes, and you know, or like if you get a critter in your house, like you get a raccoon in your attic or something, somebody can come and get it out for you, because that's what they do, like critter removal. You know, it's just fascinating that everything works. It's like, you know, that you can walk up to your wall and flip a light switch and the lights just come on. You know, we lose appreciation for a lot of that, of just how complex and involved everything we have is. And that if one thing, you know, if one person doesn't do their job, like, if somebody at the electric company did something horrible wrong, you might not have lights. I mean, if someone at the wastewater plant, for sewage, when you flushed your toilet, what would happen, Running water. We have so many great things compared to what our forefathers went through to help get us here. And I just wish that as a society we would find ourselves grateful for our past instead of completely ashamed. We look back and we say, okay, yes, they did a lot of things wrong, just like I'm sure we're doing a lot of things wrong today, I'm convinced that 1,000 years from now, human beings won't eat animals. And people will look back in 1,000 years and say, they used to eat animals. Yeah, they did. 1,000 years before that, we used to eat each other. We would cook human flesh. There were a lot of cannibal humans. So, I mean, we've just evolved, and obviously we've lived and learned. And that's, I think, the problem is, in society we look back and we hate the past instead of just appreciating the madness of it and the unbelievable luck that even through all of that turmoil we made it here, where we have electricity and running water and hospitals and medicine. I feel like we've taken so much for granted. And part of it is that too, another reason that all ties into why I've just struggled to maintain consistency and trying to build this channel to something a little bit bigger. Because, saying things like that, I may get negative comments because of the immigration comment I make, or I make it, somebody might insinuate that I'm justifying slavery or saying it was okay or trying to minimize how horrible it was, when that is absolutely not what I'm saying. I'm acknowledging that mankind has been wicked and horrible. All races have been, not just white people, but black people, brown people. I mean, you name it. War, and raping and pillaging and stealing and conquering lands. It's what got us all here. Everybody that's where they are, and some people still live under a daily threat of it. It's just, someday I feel like that's just gotta stop, That slowly but surely we're evolving and we're getting better and better. And for me, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for mankind getting us where we are today. And I'm grateful to have electricity so that I can make this video and update you on some things in my life. But yeah. So I want to tell you about an event that happened, but I'm going to save it for another video because I'm already 25 minutes in. So hopefully you enjoyed hearing from me again. And if you want to help me try to get to 2,000 subscribers, maybe you could send, if you know somebody likes ASMR, just ask them to subscribe to my channel. Give me